Hey, it's this I this. Finally, after a while. And I'm just gonna compilate this, just me talking video, and some of the most dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever done or heard. Sorry about that. Hit my mic. But anyways, for starters, I've been playing the Lego City Undercover, and goddamn, that's a fun game. I'm probably gonna get the Need for Speed U because it's actually looking like a pretty good game for the Wii U. But yeah, who knew that Lego City would actually turn out to be one hell of a great game? Oh yeah, and Battlefield Earth. Battlefield Earth. Battlefield 4 is not coming to the Wii U. Okay, first of all, Battlefield and Call of Duty had a little battle with each other, and Call of Duty basically ripped the shit and raped Battlefield like it was nothing. Basically putting it, Battlefield I don't think would have been all that great on the Wii U anyways. Why? Because A, it failed against Call of Duty, even though Samuel Tech Geek seems to think otherwise. Actually, I think hates both of those games. Of course, Samuel Tech Geek, it's all about Halo. Halo beats both games. Yeah. If anything, Lego City has taught us a massive lesson. Basically, it's all about gameplay and fun. How fun the game is. It's not about the next greatest game. It's not defined by its bloodshed. I mean, it's a nice added bonus, but I don't care. And there's no such thing as a mature gamer needing mature only games. Okay, then fine. Go out and play your fucking pornos. Then, if that's what you think the only entertainment is, every other entertainment that's out in the movie media's, basic movie is considered childish because porn is mature, and only real moviegoers got to see the mature stuff and none of that other stuff. Fucking bullshit. And I'm supposed to believe a secondary shooter that can't even compete against Call of Duty, and I'm supposed to be all depressed that it's not on the fucking Wii U, and it can't even compete against Call of Duty sales anyways. And that's a massive loss for Nintendo? How? Hell, they're thinking about. Yeah, I said that they were gonna probably not release Aliens Colonial Marines for the Wii U, which was probably a good thing. And then all of a sudden, Gearbox gets up and says, "No, we're working on that port." Yay! Now it looks like they're not. And Walmart seems to be showing a special PC/Mac version of the game. I hope to God there's no Mac port. In fact, I just hope to God they stop porting the game to anything. Yeah, if any of the Mac guys who port video games for the Mac are listening, don't port fucking Alien Colonial Marines to the Mac or even to iOS or anything for that matter. It's really fucking bad. And yeah, you'll be doing Nintendo a favor if you don't even port it to the Wii U. Jesus, that is a horrible game. Walking Dead Survival Instinct came out. It's a horrible game. Shock of all shock. Yeah. But anyways, this decision not to have Battlefield on the Wii U is just one of many other decisions why EA doesn't have a real CEO anymore. Yeah. Yeah, their CEO's gone. And Activision is sitting up there just raking in the money. Yeah, I expect the next Call of Duty to make a shit ton of money. I'm not gonna be surprised when that happens. Oh yeah, and under Mac news, besides the Alien Colonial Marines possibly going to Mac and hoping to God it never does, um, XCOM Enemy Unknown is coming to iOS. All I can say is, who the fuck cares? Just listening to all those gamers making ass out of themselves. It'll finally be on a touchscreen and I'll have it on my fucking mobile phone. I'll look like a complete idiot. It'll have smaller maps and not all the campaigns are going to be there. Why? Because we're stupid people who think that the iOS is the greatest handheld thing since sliced bread. I mean, let's ignore the fact that, when the original Dead Space came out, it was a smash hit, but nowadays, it only took like, what, 2 months for it to be completely forgotten and people not to even care. And just about every other games have all just been repeats of previous games, including Batman Arkham City Lockdown. Basically, the gameplay on Arkham City Lockdown is Fruit Ninjas. They just took the same concept of Fruit Ninjas and Infinity Sword. Well, actually, Infinity Sword took the Fruit Ninja concept, and all you do is swipe your finger left and right to beat up the bad guys or slice at the horrible beast monsters. What the fucking dilly doodah. It kind of gotten boring after a while. And the only other games are just physics based games like, Angry Birds and more fucking Angry Birds and even more fucking Angry Birds, which is, by the way, more popular on fucking Android. And by the way, just to let you know, Android is selling more phones than iOS is. Yes, iOS is kicking the living shit out of Windows phones, but then again, who the fuck wants to own those? Basically, oh yeah, and the new game. Tap to make your character jump while it's running down a carnival, because it brings back the platform games. You have no control over the actual character, and the only movement you can make them do is jump, jump, jump by tapping on the screen. Okay. And that's supposed to be innovative how? I mean, maybe at first, but now we just got a bunch of repeats of the same fucking game. Look, I don't hate iOS or Android, but all they've done is bring out repeat the same game over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they don't stop. I mean, yeah, they put pretty graphics on there like Infinity Sword and Batman Arkham City Lockdown, which basically is when you tear it down to its most basic finance, it's just Fruit Ninjas with pretty graphics, the Unreal Engine, and that's it. I mean, it was nice at first, but there's nothing new there. And all the first person and third person shooters have failed miserably under iOS. I mean, yeah, they were great sales at first, but who the fuck cares about them now? Because what are they all still talking about? Angry fucking birds. That's it. Or maybe bad pigs. I mean, because Rikyo, or the company that makes Angry Birds, they've only made two games in their entire life. Angry Birds and Repeat Angry Birds, but in space. And then they have, the Bad Pigs, which came from another game called Tommy, which is what Rico, the same company, made. And that's all they've made. And that's all they've been repeating. That's why I didn't care for Star Wars Angry Birds, because it's literally Angry Birds in space, but with just lightsabers and a couple of guns being fired off. There's no difference between the two games. Angry Birds Space and Angry Birds Star Wars are literally the same fucking game. And yet people buy it by the boatload because they're stupid. I mean, look what you got. You got all your clones of Fruit Ninjas, your fucking clones of Angry Birds, which was originally a clone of, I think, Castle Crashers or something like that. I can't remember the original title, but it's there. And you got all your clones of the new Platform and Jump. And the only reason why that one's taken off is because it actually brings something new to the iOS instead of having the same gameplay be so popular over and over and over. And watching first persons and third persons and RTSs. And by the way, there are a few RTSs and they've all failed under iOS massively. Just about every other gameplay had some great sales at first, but then just die. It's because, and most people have just deleted it from their phones. I mean, because, especially the first person shooters, because their controls are bad. And on the iPhones, your thumb just cover up the screen, and you really can't do much on there. And yeah, in the 2D fighter games, which have gotten very high scores, especially Capcom versus Marvel 2. So no, so yeah, and what's funny about XCOM being on iOS is that Feral Interactive just announced that XCOM is coming to the Mac OS 10. Here's a advice: get the Mac version if you have a Mac. If you have a PC, get the PC version, but don't bother with the iOS version. It's going to be a waste of your money, just like all the other first-person shooters that have died, first person, third persons, and RTSs that have all just died, and even real time strategy hasn't really done much. Unless you want to look at cartoon characters in little boxes. Whoop de fucking do. Either that, just get a PS Vita or a goddamn Nintendo 3DS. The 3DSs are selling a hell of a lot more better now, anyways. I know why. I mean, the mobile phones are just repeating itself, and they're just repeating the same gameplay over and over and over again. And to tell you the truth, I'm fucking sick of it. I mean, I love my iPod Touch, but there's just the same game repeated over and over and over again. And whoop-de-doo. Oh yeah, and Deus Ex Human Revolution is finally coming to Wii U. Okay, um, and everybody's like, "Oh wow, Nintendo's getting a really old game." Let me explain something. Apple people or Mac gets this a lot worse. There's an old game called Grind, and another game that was a piece of shit on Xbox 360 and or maybe the original X, I don't know, called Velvet Assassin, and they were shit games. We finally just got them on Mac. Yeah, we're getting games that are 5 or 6 years old, with or even more, maybe even 10 to 12 years old. So don't complain when you're seeing we getting an older game and saying stupid shit, because Max and Apple have got that shit beat down way more than Nintendo does. Hell, we don't even have Assassin's Creed 1 or Assassin's Creed 2, the third game to Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 3, or even 4. And I doubt we'll even have 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 10 because Ubisoft hates Apple. But yeah, of course, Ubisoft seems to hate PCs half the time too. But yeah, there you go. See ya.